Hey, Houston, what's good, man? Dante and I are here for the H-Town Rundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast once again to talk about quite a few things here. So, Dante, man, how you been, man? We got a couple things we got to talk about.
I feel like we in the Steven Silas era all over goddamn again.
Not the Smiley era. Yeah, man, you be sure to follow this podcast at the H-Town Rundown, and you can follow us on Twitter as well as Instagram. So, guys, we're going to play the cue. Let's get it. Yeah, everybody, we ended up going on a crazy trip, going 1-4 in these 5 games we talked about, ladies and gentlemen. But it was quite interesting. Games we should have won, games we should have lost. We're gonna break it all down here today. So be sure to follow me, your current host, Preston Simpson, at Drip. That's 2Ps_GAWD on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to follow my boy Dante at Coach Dante31 on Twitter and Instagram as well. Check out his YouTube, man. He actually flourished over there, man. He got a lot of followers. He's talking about everything daily, man. Go check him out. Go check him out. And then be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well at the H-Town Rundown. So, Dante, let's start off right with the first game, going right into it. That Sixers game, man, that wasn't a good game. Bede went crazy. It was a very inefficient night from all of our guys. We ended up losing this game 115 to 124. We was guarding Tyrese Maxey in the first half pretty well, and then he ended up going off for 27 plus in the second half because that third quarter we just can't guard nobody in the third for some reason. That's gonna be the theme. That's gonna be the theme, man. Is that third quarter, man. So Alperen Sengun, he ended up playing 30 minutes tonight, and in that night against the Sixers, he had 19 points, 9 boards, and 6 assists. And he added a steal and 2 blocks in that game, which is nice to see. However, as a big man, shooting 47% is not great from the field. He ended up having 5 turnovers to go along with that. But he did make all his threes, and he went 2 or 3 for the free throw line. So, some silver linings there. And then Jalen, he only got to play 27 minutes this game. He had 20 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. That's his whole stat line. He went 1 of 7 from 3 for a whopping 14% from the three-point line. However, he did shoot 44% from the field. As a guard, that's not terrible. It's not great. It's not terrible. But we need him to be more efficient from the free throw line. He only went 71.4% from the line. Dante's going to break the game down for us as per usual. He's going to talk about the energy, the fouls, and the bench play that we saw. So go ahead, Dante.
Well, I wish we were more better and starting to look like what we looked like last year. But other than that, I don't get off that. I don't get to that wagon yet because I don't think we that team. But the last couple of games, it just almost feel like the way we've been playing. Again, what team when they play the Rockets don't shoot well from the 3-point line, that's what the Sixers shot 15 threes. They made 48% of the threes. We get wide open. We can't make them. So that tells you we need some more shooting on this team. Someone that can make a shot when we need a shot creator, something up on this team. We didn't shoot well from the free throw line either. You missed 13 free throws, which is 59%. So when we did get to the line, and we had 32 free throws, we had 2 less free throws than they did, but you got to get to the line and make them. We didn't get to the line and make them that game. So we're struggling from the field. We're struggling from the free throw line. We had 21 assists. We didn't move the ball quite well. But again, Jabari Smith had a pretty efficient game in this type of game. Show could have used them tonight. The way this game went, which we'll get to that one in a minute. Dylan Brooks, he was good in this game. He had 18. He had 18 points. He was good in this game. 18 points, 2 or 3 from shooting. Really like the way Dylan Brooks been playing on his team. It's just seemed like he's been a little bit. So I really like the way this team, Dylan Brooks playing on his team. Alp, had 19 points off 7 of 15 shooting. Alp, man, like I say, vote this man as an all-star, man. If y'all Rockets fan, this man needs to be voted as an all-star right now. Jalen Green, 20 points in this game. 20 points in this game. Again, another inefficient night. Fred VanVleet, 8 points, 33 minutes. 33 minutes wasn't good at all. He wasn't good at all. Jeff Green, 13 minutes, 1 point. Come on, Jeff Green. You got to be better than that. You can't have, you had 1 point. That's probably one of his worst games of the season, so I ain't going to get on them too mad. But Whitmore and Thompson was good in this game. They were good in this game. 14 points apiece. Really like the way they've been playing in this game. But otherwise, again, we can't guard anybody. We can't stop anybody from going to the paint. We can't guard the three like how we was doing earlier in the season. How we was going and we weren't giving up. We weren't giving up easy buckets or easy wide open threes. So we got to get better on that on the defensive end. Like I say, I think we need to make a move at the trade deadline when the trade deadline up, because this is getting too out of hand. When you're giving up, when you got a defensive-minded coach and you got defensive-minded players too as well, you can't be bad on the defensive side of the ball. You can't allow people to make 15 threes and be efficient. You can't allow people to just drive right by you. We need, like I say again, man, as we get before in the show, disappointing, but 124 points or even 130. Man, we got too many good defensive guys to be giving up them that many too much points every night, man. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, our defensive rating is definitely starting to slide, and that's something we'll talk about kind of going forward with this. Is just it seems like kind of what we witnessed over in Boston is that Ime Udoka's play style and like defense, right? It commands so much energy from players. Now with Boston, they were 500 at the All-Star break, and then they lost, I think, like 4 games after the All-Star break, and were the number 1 seed in the East. They ended up going to the finals and all that, crazy runs. Game 7 against a couple good teams that year. Ended up sweeping the Nets with KD and Kyrie. That was crazy. However, this isn't that team, right? This is the Houston Rockets, where we've got a lot of young guys that haven't been in the league that long, haven't had players around them. I mean, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they had Kyrie for 2 years, right? And I know Kyrie, just it is what it is. They had Kyrie Irving. We got Fred VanVleet, and this is year 1, right? So it's a little bit different dynamic, especially with our veterans. I mean, they got Al Horford, we got Jeff Green, right? And they're pretty comfortable. But the roster's different, the players are different. You could see a little bit of the players in that team that he coached. However, it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
And so with the defense that we're commanding I think it just takes a lot of energy away from our players, right? Because we play hard on defense to start out with, and then our offense falls, right? Because we're not making shots, players get in their own head, and all that, and not playing offense leads to poor defense, and then it just tumbles into that third quarter, right? For some reason, for the first couple games in the season, that third quarter was our best quarter. We wouldn't play so well in the first half even, but that third quarter we come out hot. So I'm not sure what's going on, what the mentality is, but like Dante's saying, we're going to get into this, later on towards the end of the episode here. We're going to talk about the bench and just upgrading the roster in general. What we can do to shake things up. So
yeah.
I got a bunch of players kind of lined up here. We're going to talk about all that, but let's move on to the next game, which ended up being another loss, and we ended up playing the New York Knicks. Now, it was a close game through 3 quarters. I think we were only down 2 going into the half. Into the third quarter, we were down less than double digits. Close game all around. It got away from us in the fourth quarter. We ended up losing this game 94-109. Just terrible fourth quarter play. Terrible second half play in general. Fred VanVleet had to play 41 minutes to lose this game by 15. Not great. He had 24 points, 3 boards, and 12 assists. He had a steal, which is nice, and the 12 assists are really nice. This is one of Fred's more efficient nights, and I know it's horrible to say that 42% is an efficient night for Fred, but unfortunately it is. He went 42% from the field, but also 42% from 3, and he made all his free throws, which is nice to see, especially considering the last game against the Sixers that we just talked about. We missed 15 free throws. That was just atrocious. Then Alperen Sengun, he played 40 minutes in this game. He had 18 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. He had a steal and 4 blocks, which was a much better defensive output from him from this game compared to against the Sixers, where he was guarding Joel Embiid, the man that just dropped 70 points a couple nights ago. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. Good thing I wasn't us this year. I wasn't us this year, you know what I mean? He ended up having 44% from the field. It's all right. Again, not great from your center. You want to see that a lot more efficient. But again, one of the reasons why I ended up losing this game, didn't make a single 3, and he only went 57% from the free throw line. So again, just a poor game from the free throw line, the 3, and the field in general. Dante's going to break down the game for us as per usual here. He'll talk about the paint play that we had, getting inside paint points. the rebounding, how we got rebounded and how close it was, as well as the perimeter defense and how they just can't miss on us because we're the Houston Rockets. Everyone loves to play against us, man.
They can't miss because we the Houston Rockets, and again, we don't guard nobody. We stop guarding everybody. We just stop guarding people, and it's just like really turning into practice in the gym when nobody is guarding you just get to make it every shot, any shot you want. So that's how it's turning in. Again, you can't beat nobody making 8 threes, and a team is making 13 and shooting 40 to 35% from the 3-point line. We ain't beat nobody like that. We starting to get to the free throw a lot more, but we shot 84%. They absolutely killed us on the boards, man. 51 to 38. That's 13 rebound difference. We couldn't get a rebound when Julius Randle and Hartenstein, someone that used to play for us in the paint, getting rebounds. Again, well, I like the fact that we don't turn the ball over as much, which we actually get more opportunities than the opposing squad. We just don't capitalize on those opportunities. They had 12 offensive rebounds in this game. So again, and we don't make shots. We're not making shots. When we don't got, I'm starting a team. We don't really got shot making like that. That's why I think at the trade deadline, we really do need to make a move to get a shot maker up on this team, someone that can that can create, make a shot. Julius Randle had 31 points in this game. Josh Hart had 14 rebounds. A guard out rebounding our big man.
Wait, Josh Hart, how many rebounds?
Yeah, he had 14 rebounds. Josh Hart, the guard, had 14 rebounds. He had more than Alp. Even though Alp had a double-double, he had more rebounds than Alp. That is unacceptable. That shows you they all getting in there rebounding the basketball. All getting in there rebounding basketball, including the guard. A guard is out rebounding our big. And Julius Randle had only 8 rebounds. And guess what? Hartenstein had 11 rebounds. He had 11 rebounds. So he out rebounded our bigs. He out rebounded his own big man. Come on, that's just effort right there that Josh Hart was getting for the Knicks right there, and energy. Something right now, that we don't have. Fred VanVleet played in 41 minutes. He had 24 points. He was trying out there. Jalen Green, another inefficient night, continues to happen. I remember Locked on Rockets with Jackson Gatlin the other day, and he was talking about he think it should be consideration that Jalen Green role need to change of coming off the bench. Maybe that's a better stepping stone of him working through that first unit and letting Cam Whitmore start. In the way outside of today, the way Jalen Green played, I don't know if you can consider that, but Ime Udoka is sticking with them, which is I don't mind. He's not giving up on them. But at some point, something's got to make a move. I think it needs to happen at the trade deadline. But other than that, man, they scored 109 points, which ain't bad. But our offense was just absolutely god awful in this game. Can't make shots, couldn't rebound in this game. Just absolutely god awful in this game.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it. Just again, towards the end of the game, we ended up getting beat down, and that's what happens. We got out rebounded, got outshot. I mean, and today it's a 3-point league, right? I mean, obviously you gotta get your paint points. Like we get in the paint, we get down low, we make our shots in the paint. Last couple of games, we're going like 40, 50, 60 points in the paint. I mean, tonight, in overtime, we had 62 points in the paint. Crazy. Just can't make threes, man. If we put us in the 90s, we might be winning the chip. But like we just cannot score anywhere outside of the paint for some reason. And that's going to be a topic of conversation, and again, that's something we end up talking about, for players that we might want on our team. So think about that going forward. So here's another game that was just dirty, gross, and we didn't even deserve to win it. The Utah Jazz game in OT. We ended up winning this game 127-126. And my goodness, there were too many instances throughout this game where I was like, man, thank goodness the whistle went our way. Thank goodness players missed shots when they did, because we should have not won this game. Alperen Şengün had a monster game in 42 minutes. He had 37 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal and a block. He went 50% from the field, made all his threes. but he shot 60% from the free throw line, and he was missing free throws in the clutch. Not a great look for LP. Again, good 37 points. You can't do everything, but, as a star player, we got to criticize him on a starter level, so you got to make your free throws, LP. Got to make your free throws.
Yep.
Then Jabari Smith Jr., he ended up having a really, really good game. This is a fantastic game from our front court. Jabari had 24 points, 10 boards, an assist, 2 steals, and a block on 47 and 50. And he did go 50% from the free throw line. However, I believe he only went 1 of 2. So you only getting, 2 shots at the free throw line. 50 is not too bad. And then Cam Whitmore in this game just went off, dude. In 27 minutes, he had 17 points, 5 boards, and assists, and 2 blocks, man. 46% from the field, 67% from 3. But he did go 1 of 3 from the free throw line. So again, kind of that disparity at the free throw line. Keys to the game that Dante going to break down is the defense overall between us and them, the total turnovers from our team as well as their turnovers, and then our transition play, how we were able to defend in the transition, as well as how we were able to go into transition for transition offense.
Yeah, again, we played 2 quarters of basketball in this game. We played well in the first and second, and you know what happened? The third quarter happened again. Utah came out with a lot more energy, and they took the lead for a little while, and we was able to come back in this game. Like I say, clock LP as an all-star. I mean, you talking about one of the best young centers in the game, rim protector center. I mean, giving him work, just baking him like barbecue chicken out there. I mean, just doing post moves, even went 1-on-1 from the 3, put 37 on them. Again, you can see the coach took out Zach. I believe he took out Collins early in this game, which LP was giving him work, and put one of his best center and Walker Kessler in the game. And he started him in the second half, but it didn't matter to LP because he was going to work. LP has worked over some good centers this year, man. You talking about Valanciunas, who he worked over twice in this game, in games. You talking about giving Anthony Davis work as well. You talking about Walker Kessler, who's a very good rim protector, man, who's mentioned as one of the best rim protectors. I mean, posting them up, backing them to the basket. Even DeAndre Ayton had some work in the clutch tonight. It had some work in the clutch tonight that he put on. So again, another game LP just went crazy in. Jabari Smith starting to shoot the ball consistently. We finally made a little bit of threes. We made the same amount of threes as they made. The only thing we shot a better percentage from 3. Again, LP, you can be an unstoppable force if you make your free throws. You can be an unstoppable force if you make those free throws. But just because you don't make free throws, that's something you got to work on. I think there was a stretch that he got better at it. He got his free throw percentage up to 72%, but you got to make your free throws. You got to make your free throws. We shot 63% from the free throw line, which is not good. We got to the free throw line 22 times. We was 14 to 22. We missed 8 free throws. We also got out rebounded by 3. Boy, they were killing us on the boards. In the overtime and in the fourth quarter, we couldn't even get a rebound. At times. We had 27 assists. You know what else won us this game? We didn't turn the ball over. We had 7 turnovers, which we got more shots than they did. 19 fast break points. But again, Cal Whitmore went crazy in this game. I thought he had an excellent game. Him and Amin Thompson, and those 2 guys together are stepping up and becoming huge for us. Cal Whitmore is averaging down to 10 points per game. Averaging 10 points per game right now on less time he was getting from the G League. So again, to me, for what I want to say right here, I don't think Cam Whitmore I think he plays the whole season. I don't care if Tari Eason comes back. Yep. Somebody role has to change. I didn't know Jay Sean Tate got hurt. I didn't know what game he got hurt. But again, he needs to slide over to the side, and Ime Udoka needs to worry about just playing Cam Whitmore. Right now, he's been more productive. He's starting to improve on that 3-point shot. And when he gets to the basket, he's just unstoppable. When he goes downhill, he's just unstoppable. He's going to finish down there every single time because of its athleticism. So, again, Tari Eason come back. I don't think Cam Whitmore minutes should stop because he comes back. I'm pretty much sure we're going to make a trade at the trade deadline because it's already been talked about with Jock Landale and Victor Oladipo. And I think Jay Sean Tate need to be right along in a deal or something, helping out a playoff team. But I just think right now, Cam Whitmore is just playing so much better ball, just like Aaron Holiday did with Thompson was out. I just think he's playing so well. You just gotta let him play, man. You just gotta let him play basketball, man. He knows how to score. He's hitting the jump shot now. You just gotta keep him out there on the floor. It ain't gonna work. Sending him to the G League when somebody could get hurt, come back from injury. You gotta keep him out there as hot as he is. You gotta no doubt 5 minutes for this guy. Keep the minutes going for him. Him and Tyrese can play on the floor. They can play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you could totally play Cam. Like you could have a defensive lineup where you're looking at like Amin Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Cam, Tar, and Jamari. Yeah, it's just a defensive like crazy lineup. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I mean, and we've seen with the defensive leaps that our boy Cam has made. I mean, from the mistakes that he made as a starter that we're going to talk about in the next game, he cleaned up some of those mistakes. Actually, some of those backdoor cuts he was able to deny this game, and just being able to come in hot. Now, people have been saying like, "Oh man, Cam, he needs to start over Jalen." Yeah, I understand the frustration with Jalen. I do. However, Cam is not starting over Jalen. We saw when they both played as starters in the game that we're going to talk about next. Cam was not great against the Celtics.
No, he wasn't.
He was not. Again, it was his first start, so like, I mean, as a rookie, I can only imagine the nerves of starting and let alone to be the Boston Celtics and you're expected to guard Jason Tatum. That's a lot for a rookie, to go into. However, bottom line is, people were saying that this was like that Boston game. It was going to be, it was Cam's like tryout game to take over for Jalen. And, no, obviously Jalen is clearly better than Cam. And I personally, I'm still thinking that Jalen's got the higher upside, right?
Yeah.
And, who knows? We'll see. Only time will tell. However, with Cam where he's at now, I do think he does need to play more. He's earned these minutes.
Yeah.
And especially when Tyra comes back. I'm okay with allocating the minutes to from Jay-Sean Tate all to Cam.
Yeah.
All those minutes just go right to Cam. I'm also okay with sliding Jeff Green completely to the bench and letting him play like those 3 to 5, like those spot minutes.
Yeah.
Here or there once we trade Jock so we can get an actual center. Those are things that we're going to end up talking about. So we've already exhausted this Jazz game, and my goodness, was this just terrible. So let's jump right into the next game. That was just absolutely awful as well, where we ended up losing to the Boston Celtics 107-116 in regulation. Alperen Sengun played 36.5 minutes. And again, he had a triple-double, man. 24, 12, and 10 with a steal. 55% from the field. Didn't get to make a 3, but he made all his free throws, and that is exactly what we're asking from him. I'm not asking you to make 5 threes a game. But, boy, if you get to the line, if you make your free throws, God, that's a star, man. I mean, man, I just love it. And then Dylan Brooks come back. He was really good this game. Played 40 minutes. He had 25 points, 5 boards, an assist, and 4 steals in this game. However, his efficiency was god-awful. Shot 36% from the field, He only went 1 of 3 from 3. However, he made his free throws. Again, kind of another thing that we've been complaining about, making his free throws. Yep. He went 4 of 5. And then Amin Thompson in this game. I believe this is his starter game as well. Career high in rebounds, career high in points. He played 25 minutes. 15 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists and a steal. He went 50% from the field, didn't get a chance to make a 3, and he made his free throws with 83% from the line, going 5 of 6. Absolutely fine by me. I think that's a very good game from Amin Thompson, especially who he had to guard, who he had to play against. Very good game from him. So Dante's going to break down the game. He's going to talk about defense that we had to play, the perimeter play that we had, lack thereof, as well as the efficiency differential between the two teams.
Man, as of right now, man, again, our guys competed in this game. They came back. They put up a great, solid effort. Like I say, it's no shame of losing to a very good team. I mean, Boston is one of the best team in the league as of right now. They're they're the best team in the league as of right now. So it's no shame in losing to them. But Cam Whitmore, I believe, got the start in this game. He had a kind of off game, but I mean, you're gonna make some mistakes. That's a rookie. He's gonna do that. I mean, I was very impressed, with Amon Thompson's game and 15 points, 14 rebounds. He's starting to get a feel of this offense. I saw him knock down a couple of mid-range jump shots, which he was comfortable of taking. And again, like I say, man, Dylan Brooks did all he could. I mean, he was good in that third quarter. Dylan Brooks was really good in that third quarter. He's starting to put the consistency minutes up that we needed. Again, you remember everybody said he should have been an overseas player because his attitude. Well, he's been very good to us, and he's, like I said, he's proven the worth every penny of that money that we gave him, because he's put nothing but consistent shooting up for us and consistent points up on the board for us. LP continue to be consistent. Again, like I say, man, Jalen Green, I think it was moments that, Ime Udoka tried to let him be the man of this game. And this man, I don't know what happened, man. It's just he gets opportunities to make open shots, and he just really doesn't knock them down. He hasn't been able to knock down the open shots when he got opportunities. And it just seemed like every time he either try to be a playmaker or pass the ball, it's a turnover. It's just making it seem like, again, Jalen Green was on a bad team. Jalen Green was on a bad team for like 3 years straight, and he was able to showcase what he could do. But again, you're playing on a bad team, a coach that lets you do what you want to do. Now you're playing with a more fluent offense where you got Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet and spot nights can drop you 20 a game. And he's getting shots that he wants at times, and Jalen Green just sometimes don't make them. Again, I thought this was a night that Jalen Green supposed to showcase himself. That hey, I'm still here. I'm still can be the guy for this team when need be. And Jalen Green just didn't show that, man. Just didn't show that. I mean, another inefficient game. And it just almost seemed like when Jalen Green is up out of the game, the team started playing better all of a sudden, and something that is a problem. That is a problem that we having that's becoming influential. And coming to the next game, it's another trend that I'm actually realizing. And starting to show up. But Jayshawn Tate, 5 minutes, played 15 minutes, only scoring 2 points. I'm not okay with that, man. Something I say, I think he got hurt. I think at this point, man, 15 minutes, 2 points. I think at this point, I'm going to just say it like this. I think Cam Whitmore is just a better player, man. I'm going to just say it like that at that point. But right now, for what we're doing, I just think Whitmore is just a better player.
He's better offensively. That's for sure.
More creativity, more going to the basket. I think Jayshawn Tate is a better scorer for us posting up, and he provide more versatility at that. But right now, I think Cam Whitmore, like the way he's been playing, is a way better fit for our team. And Cam Whitmore got the scoring potential, man. He has the scoring potential to light it up, and he can knock down shots. And he can get to the rim with explosiveness. So at this point, if I was Ime Udoka, I look real heavy at that. When Tari Eason does come back, which is he definitely going to be in a rotation, I'm looking at Jock Landale, and I'm looking at Jeff Green, and I'm looking at Jayshawn Tate, and I'm looking at Cam Whitmore, and I'm saying, man, Cam Whitmore may be the way to go right here for this rest of the season. This man down there averaging 10 points a game already, coming off the bench, just scoring, giving us productive minutes, not just being a liability, just being a productive minutes guy, and just doing and playing good defense. So at this point, and Jayshawn Tate, before he got hurt, wasn't even really giving you anything. Like not like he was doing at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, Jayshawn Tate was hot. He was hot. He was making shots. But now coming in the middle of the season, he hasn't done anything. And Jock Landale, we can definitely come off him. He's definitely gone. I think he's gone at the trade deadline, him and Oladipo. Yeah. Now I think Jayshawn Tate needs to be gone out with him.
Honestly, Yeah, Jock hasn't been much. And when we get to talking to this next game,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely Jock's best game as a Rocket, and that's crazy because I think he had like 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy to say that. You're the best game, man, and it was 6 points. That's tough. That's tough. But he was doing a lot of little things. But in terms of today for this game for the Celtics, Jock, Victor. Again, Tate, he was great during the early part of the season. He slowed down. Now his defense has stayed consistent, right? He's been a great defender, but he's letting some of these ticky-tack fouls get to him lately, and that puts him in a bad position to where we're forcing to have to play Cam Whitmore in clutch time, which I'm okay with playing Cam in clutch time, just defensively, right? Like if you're trying to match up, I don't want Cam guarding Jaylen Brown. I want Tate guarding Jaylen Brown right now. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Offensively, yeah, I want Cam out there. Like offensively, I want Cam out there. I want him shooting the rock the second he gets in. He's not afraid to shoot that thing.
Oh, he's cool.
He's a bucket, and I like that, man. I like that mentality. Even when he see it don't go in, he go right back at it. I'm in the next game we're gonna talk about. There was a play where he lost his footing, got to the rim, got blocked by the rim. Cool. Then they scored down at the other end. Portland did. Cool. All right. They got Cam going again. And he splashed that thing immediately. He don't care. There's not a single shot he's taken that he didn't like. And I like that. I love that mentality. Obviously, it can come back to bite you, but, we'll get into that. But yeah, I think we exhausted the Celtics game pretty much. There's not much to talk about other than the fact that, again, it was another L. We got out-coached, too, in this game. This is going to be another thing we'll talk about against Portland is the rotations were not great. Certain players were kind of hot at times, and, due to fouls or, just in general, the rotational patterns were not there, not like early season even. And that's something that's kind of becoming unfortunate, especially during these 5 games that we're talking about here. So we're talking about the game tonight. We're going to OT in a loss, 131-137 against Portland. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about today. Alpi had to play 40 minutes today. He had 30, 10, and 8 with a steal. He had 65% from the field, but 50% from 3, and 87.5% from the free throw line. I apologize. And then Jaylen, he played 39 minutes. He had 29 points, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Jaylen, in these 29 points, who is a driver, Jaylen drives a lot. He only got 4 free throws, which is incredible to me. He shot 75% from the field. However, he did go 2 of 7 from 3, granting him 29%. However, at the end of it, he did go 50% from the field on quite a few shots. So, I would say this is a good night from Jaylen. Obviously, the 3 ball wasn't falling. And he wasn't getting his free throws, which was just heartbreaking to me. I mean, that man, every time he goes to the rim, he's getting slapped and beaten, pushed.
Yeah.
And, there's no wonder he don't drive. I don't blame him. If I'm going to the rim and I keep getting hacked and I'm not getting calls and then I'm missing them, I'm just going to shoot because it's easier. I'd rather just pull up and hope it go in rather than try to go get an M1, because every time Jaylen goes to the rim, man, he's getting beaten, abused. So Dante gonna break down the game as per usual. You can talk about the common theme, defense or lack thereof for the Houston Rockets in this game, the rebounding battle where we ended up getting out rebounded, and then just the overall energy, which after a couple of days off, you thought we would have come out, a lot more energetic, and we did. We were up 13, and it went to OT and we lost by 6, so a whole 19-point swing in this game, which is not fantastic, especially against a team that's selling everything away and trying to get a draft pick. I mean, they are a tanking team. And they saw this as an opportunity to kick our ass. And unfortunately, they did. So go ahead, Dante. Break it down for us.
Well, like I said, I'm not happy. It was an embarrassing game, to be honest. Like I say, man, something need to give. Whether if it's a trade or something, man, it's unacceptable. And it pissed me off tonight for a 12-31 team to come in here and put 137 points up on the board on us. We're not staying in front of nobody. We're not playing any defense. It's just mind-boggling tonight how defense was in this game. And I'm very embarrassed, and every Rocket fan is embarrassed. Calvin Murphy and Gerald Green was pissed off, and we as Rockets fans are all upset and disappointed about this game. the lack of defense, the lack of standing in front of people. They scored 41 points in the third quarter is where we lost the game at. Unacceptable for a 12-31 team to come in here in your home, in your building, in your court where you play much better at. You had 3 days off, knowing that you're playing a bad team, and you come out and you give up 41 points in the damn third quarter and you lose the game in overtime. And Malcolm Brogdon hits a three in the corner when nobody was guarding him. He should have been guarding in the corner. But if I'm Ime Udoka, that last play when Aaron Holiday hit those 2 free throws, consider how hot Portland was, should have thought about fouling. But as a veteran, Fred VanVleet, soon as Jeremy Grant got the ball, you should have fouled and not let him get the 3 off. You got to know that. They were hot. And when you let a team like that stay in the game, they bound to throw up something lucky and make it. Even though that was a good shot. I'm not going to call that lucky. That was a great shot. He made that shot. That shot went in. That's a good shot. And again, it went in overtime. Jeremy Grant made another big basket off an inbound with 2 seconds left. Off an inbound, falling away, he makes that. When you allow teams to stay in a game like this and you don't put them away, it's the result that don't happen. Now I'm getting a trend that now they back to Steven Silas. We started the last games on these road trips. We should have lost the Utah game, which is we would have damn sure lost last year. We would damn sure lost that game last year. We lost that game. We lost this game. We lost this game when we up by double digits and scored 41 points. That looked like a team that we had 3 years ago and last year. But we just giving up points, and we losing games when we have them. We lost multitude of games like that this year. The Pacers game, we lost that in the third quarter. You look at multiple games. The Bulls, we lost that in the overtime when we should have definitely won that game. Mm-hmm. We had wins that we should have won. And when Jalen Green has a big game, we find a way to lose it. All of a sudden, we find a way to lose. That's another trend I've been watching. Like the Sixers game, Jalen Green had a big game in that game, and you had LP and Fred VanVleet go out, and you don't win it. So when Jalen Green does have a great game, we find a way to don't win it. But when he's off or playing off on the bench or he's on the bench, we find a way all of a sudden to win games. Like that, we find a way to win games.
My question is it can't be, especially if he's playing well, it can't be Jalen's fault.
No, right? No, that's not his fault.
And that's what I'm getting at. What do we need to do as a team that ensures that when our stars, Jalen LP went off this game, man. I mean, look at the stats: 30, 10, and 8, almost a triple double in OT, and Jalen had 29. Right? Obviously, you look at the free throws, right? Jalen's not getting free throws, and you can look at the 3-point. Like, yes, he went 2 of 7. He was not great from the 3, right? But other than that, that's the only flaw you can see is his threes. He played okay defense. There were a couple plays where, he got caught. He got caught lacking and whatnot, or he didn't get his man in time. True. That can be said for every single player this game.
Yeah.
The overall defense was atrocious. I mean, we a finals head coach, Ime Udoka, got out-coached by whoever is in Portland. I don't even know who was the coach in Portland, Yeah, but credit to him. He was a good player. He won a chip with the Pistons, right? He a final MVP kind of guy. What's he done? He was the head coach last year, correct?
Yeah. He was the head coach of the team last year.
So back-to-back lottery team coach. Okay, he's a rebuilding coach right now, and finals coach, just got out-coached, outplayed. And I mean, I think, in my opinion, Aaron Holiday was out there too long.
Yeah,
that stretches. And we ran a 4-guard lineup with Amin, Fred, Jalen, and Aaron Holiday all out there at once. No, I never want to see that ever again. I get you trying new things, trying to figure it out. Okay, this is a close game, right? We trying to win. Like your quote, Ime, I never missed the playoffs in my career. Okay, cool. So why are we trying this? Why are we trying this right now in the middle of the season? We need to be winning games right now. This is not like a early season. The first 20, 25 games. That's when you try all that out, figure out what works, figure out what stakes. but we still trying new things out, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, like, I mean, you know, with the roster crunch, you know, and no Jay-Sean Tate, no Tari, I get it, but that's a time where I trust my rookie Cam Whitmore out there. If you're gonna play Amin, play Cam with them. Let them synchronize their minutes so that they can build that synergy off the bench, right? Let them run their minutes together with Alfred Şengün. Let them run their minutes with Fred VanVleet. Let them run their minutes with Jalen Green. So that way they all can build their own sort of, you know, that synergy, right? And it makes our players better. It makes our team more cohesive. It makes everything more smooth. But then we get games like this where Jalen and LP combine for 60, gosh damn near, and we still lose by 6 in overtime. Incredible, man. Just incredible. Honestly, this is an embarrassing showing.
It is.
You know, I mean, this is we should have not lost to this team. We were up 13, and even though Portland dropped 40 in that third quarter, we still shouldn't have lost. We should have been able to figure out a way to come back and win this game, right?
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks, you know, we had at times Aaron Holiday guarding Anthony Simons. That dude is a walking bucket.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Holiday should never, ever guard that man ever again. I never want to see that ever again. That is an assignment for Dylan Brooks. And you want to say, oh, well, they had Jeremy Grant out there. Yeah, Jeremy Grant ain't their best player. You know, he's their second best player, right?
Yep.
So you want to put our second best defender on him. Match it up so it's equal. I don't know why Dylan Brooks is not guarding Anthony Simons most of this game.
I mean, like I say, it was an embarrassing game, and like I say, it's not Jalen Green's fault. Like, we don't play any defense. We haven't played any defense these last few games. So
that's like 12 games, you know.
I mean, when your best player, when one of our best players finally gets going, these are the games you want to win. These are the games you want to win. But how we're winning games when he's off the bench. He's on the bench, and we're losing games, the games that he does play with. Like I said, I think it needs to be something. I think it's got to be something. I think it got to be a move that needs to be made. But I like what Ime Udoka's doing. He's staying loyal to Jalen. Yep. He's being confident in him, and I like that in the head coach. But again, if we want to make any type of playoff push, we got to beat these teams, man. Like,
these are the games we're supposed to win.
These are the games, especially at home. You want to win these games on your home court. Like, the way we playing right now, we can lose to Charlotte on Friday. We can lose that game. We can go in Charlotte and lose that game.
They just lost. Charlotte just lost to the Pistons. If
just
we
lost to the god-awful Pistons
tonight, just lost by 3. If we lose to Charlotte, dude,
it's a good chance that will happen. We don't play no defense. We don't play any type of defense at all.
Can't play perimeter defense.
We can't play defense against Portland. We can't play defense against Portland. And I think they just got LaMelo Ball right back. They just got the guy right back. And LaMelo Ball is a tough matchup for anyone to guard. And like I say again, we don't play any type of defense. There's a good possibility we can definitely go in there and lose that game. Now they did lose Scary Terry, which that was big. They did trade him. So again, they could be trading to more players at the trade deadline, but you cannot go in Charlotte and allow Charlotte to put up 130 plus points. If we allow that to happen, we will be losing that game.
Yeah, we will. Yep, guaranteed. I mean, you know, any team that puts up 120 or more points on us, I believe we've only won a single game out of this year. I think that's happened 8 times. So, you know, or 9 times now. So we're 1 in 8 minimum in games where people are putting up 120 on us. Not acceptable, right? First, they shouldn't be getting 120, but you know, with modern day basketball, right? They're getting the 3 ball, they're getting more free throws. Cool, okay. We need to allocate that defense to that. You know, more energy on the defensive end. You know, more energy in exasperating what needs to be done. You know, rotations quicker, tighter. Yeah. You know, need to be on a string, man. And obviously, we haven't seen that. You know, the synergy's not there on the defensive end. You know, we're not seeing the same attentiveness to the defensive end, not seeing the same mentality on the defensive end as of lately. And it's been hurting us, you know? So like Dante is saying, you know, a change has got to happen. So that's what we've got for the game breakdowns. Now, this is going to be the fun part, right? We're going to talk about upgrading the roster, upgrading the bench, potentially upgrading the starting lineup. That'll be fun. So let's jump right into that. Dante and I have been waiting to bust this out. So right now, this is the whole roster, right? This is everybody we got in our team right now. At the point guard position, we got Fred, Aaron, and Amen. At the power forward position, we got Jabari, Jeff, and Jayshawn Tate. I put Jeff Green at the 4 because he plays 4 and the 5 for right now, even though he does play backup 5 more. Now, at the shooting guard position, we got Jalen, Cam, we got Nate Williams, or Jonathan Nate Williams, and Victor Oladipo, who isn't playing right now. At the small forward position, we got Brooks, Tari, and Reggie Bullock. And then for center, we got Alperen, Jock, and Boban. Boban, he's a vibes guy. That's all he's here for, right? He's really cool to put out there at 7'5", 7'4" for 2 minutes. That's kind of it. He does not have a great role. I don't think he really ever has. That's okay. He's just not a mobile big. He's really tall, really big. That's all he does. Nate Williams, he was really cool. I believe he's on a 2-way contract. From the games that I've seen of him, he's like Knicks, right? Just a G League killer. You come up to the NBA, you ain't doing much. That's okay. That's okay. Just not for our team. Victor Oladipo, he's been hurt consistently. I believe he's still rehabbing his injury, and hopefully we can package him up along with Jock Landale, maybe Reggie Bullock, and Jayshawn Tate, with some sort of package deal, right, to get us something. So this is the entire depth of the roster right now. So obviously we see some holes here. We like to upgrade the point guard position because although, Men Thompson's really good, Aaron Holiday's been a fantastic bench piece for us. He's been a spark plug off the bench. He's not the guy that I want consistently off the bench. That's okay. He's just not a guy that I see is going to stick with us for very long either. Same with Reggie Bullock. He didn't get almost any minutes to begin the season, and he's getting spot minutes here or there at the 2 and 3. So I'm not sure what the plan is with him going forward. However, I guess we'll see. And then, with the power forward position, right, Jayshawn Tate, we got to move on from Jayshawn Tate. I've loved Tate. He's been really good. He's been really fun. In the earlier season, Tate was phenomenal. Tate was really exciting. He came back just shooting the lights out. But right now, he's just not for us. But he still seems like he's got value for other teams, right? I keep saying send Tate to the Nuggets. I don't know what it is. I just think Tate is a Nuggets guy. I'm also seeing a guy that I don't have on my list for right now, Bruce Brown, as a guy that Houston Rockets might want. I wouldn't mind, taking Tate for Bruce Brown because Bruce Brown is literally Jayshawn Tate, but can shoot, that can score at 3 levels. I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool with that. That'd be a guy I'd love to have. So I got a couple names up on this list here on the next page about upgrading the bench. Some of these players we've actually talked about before from our Resupply the Bench series earlier in the season, the first 12 games. Now, the backcourt and frontcourt guys, right? A lot of the frontcourt guys are big men, with PJ Washington being the exception. But I think a lot of these guys would all have their own fantastic role on the team between rebounding, defense, or shooting the lights out. These are guys I think would be great. And then same for the backcourt, like guys like Gary Trent Jr., who can just shoot the lights out. Same with KCP. Quentin Grimes has been a guy that's really been growing on Houston lately, so I'm interested to see what Dante thinks about this. And then Will Barton, I don't think is even playing for our team right now, so we could get him for a veteran minimum. And he was a good guy over on the Nuggets. He's a good three-point shooter. He can facilitate the rock, and he's a good defender. And that's what Fred VanVleet does. So if we get another guy like that off the bench, that'd be great. But I'd like to add Bruce Brown to the front court guys that I don't have on there at this moment. So Dante, go ahead and kind of give me your thoughts on some of these players. Obviously, we're not going to get every single one, obviously, but the guys that I'm really thinking are likely, especially with Toronto kind of tearing down, I think it's very likely that we could get a Gary Trent kind of guy. I also think with the way the Pistons are, I think Bojan Bogdanovic would be a guy we could get potentially over there, especially with the way that's gone. And then I think Daniel Gafford would be a guy from the Wizards we could get. Or PJ Washington is a guy that we could possibly get. Those are my 4 top guys that are most likely going to work. So go ahead, Dante, kind of give me your thoughts on that. And then if there's anybody I'm missing on this list that we could potentially get, go ahead and let me know.
I want to my top 4 since you got your top 4. Clint Capella reunition coming off the bench. Would definitely love that. Get us another big man, another rim protector. that can protect the rim and won't allow anybody to get in the paint. Quentin Grimes, the guy that played at University of Houston, is a very good three and D player, very good 3-point shooter off the bench. Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr. is another guy that we've been consistently talking about, could be a part of this. And like I say, Daniel Gafford is definitely interesting as well. Another big man that can protect the rim, come off the bench. But PJ Washington is a dark horse for me. I like PJ Washington. He also come off the bench, but he can put the ball in the basket. He can play defense, but he can shoot the 3 ball pretty good. And he can make a play in the post. So I like that PJ Washington. You're getting the versatility out of him in the post and at the 3-point shooting, and a very good 3-point shooter from the Charlotte Hornets. So PJ Washington is a dark horse for me.
Yeah, man. I'm also thinking about a guy like I got on there, KCP. Again, I think he's still playing for the Wizards. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see why he wouldn't, be a good fit for us. What as you can see with a lot of these players, at least like 6 of them that I've got on here, a lot of them are shot creators that can come off the bench. I think that's what we really need. Obviously we need playmaking, right? Obviously we need, some defensive rebounding. And obviously the center position is the thing we need the most for the backup spot, and I would love to have Clint Capella come off the bench, but I think we got to give up too much for him. We'd have to give up a pick to get him, most definitely. And he's only going to be here for a year, and he's $20 million, if we're going to get him, it's got to be in the offseason in a sign and trade. That's how we get Capella. And I'm okay with that. Now, Daniel Gafford is a guy who's on a contract that we could get. And the Wizards are a team that want some players. So potentially in a trade, we could be a facilitator with those second-round picks that we've got, with some salary filler like Reggie Bullock, Deshaun Tate, Nate Williams, if we end up signing him to a full contract, and then obviously Jack Landale being the main guy. And now an interesting name I heard earlier on Locked on Rockets with Jackson Gatlin today was D'Angelo Russell. That was not a player that I had thought about previously coming over to Houston. So Dante, I am curious. How would you feel about D'Lo on the team? I just feel like he's a good, he's a good player in his role he's got over in LA. I still think he's a top tier player. He'd come on our team and probably be easily our 4th best player. A top 5 player minimum on our team over here. I just don't like him on our team because of the crunch we would have for minutes at the guard positions.
I'm not a big fan of D'Angelo Russell. I'm not. I think he's a shot chucker at times. I think he's mostly is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I went out for a minute. My bad.
That's all right. Yeah, you said he was a shot chucker.
Yeah, he's a shot chucker, and he's more of a starter than anything. He's gonna want starting minutes, so not okay with that. Especially, like I say again, I just think a backup big would be good, and someone on the perimeter would definitely help us. We need more shooting, and I think we need more size at the backup point guard, at the backup center position, but. Anyway it goes, like I say, I think we're going to make a move at the trade deadline. I think it needs to be a move that helps this team in the long run get in the playoffs or get close to the play-in. I think those are the type of moves we need to make. We don't need to go into the trade deadline not making a move, having Jock Landale, Oladipo on this team. I think we need to go into the trade deadline being aggressive. We got the draft picks. We got draft capital. So we can't make a move and get none of these players. You see, last trade deadline, people were moving for second-round picks. Second-round picks was getting out, so you can't tell me we don't have second-round picks that we can give out to get an impact player and take a gamble, especially for Coach Ime Udoka that's trying to make the playoffs. We got to be aggressive and make those moves, any one of them players. And I think we got the draft capital to make those moves. People last year wasn't going for first-round picks. They were going for second-round picks. Yeah. So if you can package some second-round picks in, to get a, you know, like you said, a Bruce Brown that can come off the bench and help, or a Daniel Gafford that can come off the bench and help, another shooter and another big that can come off the bench, we can be fine. I think we can be fine and move on from Jock Landale, Oladipo. You know, I still don't forgive Oladipo for what he did the first stint in Houston.
Yep.
Wanted to leave up out of here, and we brought that dude right back in here. Now that's good that we getting ready to move him back out. So, and I think Jayshawn Tate is another guy that needs to be shifted off. But like I say, Cam Whitmore is just playing too well, and I'm just trying to make. I just don't want nobody taking minutes away from him when he's already getting going and stuff. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think we can give up some second round picks to get an impact player like these people that you named and we got on this list.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I've got two questions for you. All right. So earlier on Twitter this morning, I saw that somebody was trying to trade for the Houston Rockets to get Alex Caruso for the team. He was a player that is likely going to go for a first round pick minimum plus 2 players, right? Simply because of salary filler. So like it'd probably be two bad players again. We could say like not bad players, but like you could say like Jayshawn Tate and Victor Oladipo and a Nets pick, first round pick for Alex Caruso. Me personally, I'm not doing that. Dante, yeah, same boat, because I don't want to give up a pick and players for Caruso, who's only got 1 year left on his contract. And don't get me wrong, Caruso's nice. Caruso's really, really, really nice. Fantastic defender, good 3-point shooter, can score at all 3 levels. He's got crazy athleticism, especially for his size. I just don't. That's too much of an asking price, I think, personally, if we're going to go for Alex Caruso. If we're going to go for Alex Caruso, I think we should go all out if we're going to trade with the Bulls and make a huge trade. And so the second part of my question, actually, answer the first part of my question. So, I guess it's two players and a pick for Caruso. Are you doing that straight up?
No, I'm not doing it. And I think Caruso is more fit for a championship caliber team. I just don't think he's more of a fit for this roster. I don't think he wins. He's fit for a champion. He's more. It just seems like he's more of a missing piece of a championship organization team that's close to winning a championship.
Like the Magic.
Like with the Bucks or some, or the Miami Heat or something like that, who just made a good trade for Terry Rozier. Even though they lost lost the game tonight, but other than that, I just think he's more of a fit for a championship opportunity. I just think we more in that playing scenario more than anything. So any one of these players on this list could help us get to that point. But like I say again, I just want to go into the trade deadline with some momentum, and winning a couple of these games, and like we keep our record at 500 and get to 500, stay at least 3 games within 500. I think we right in there. We just right in that opportunity to make a move that will help us out.
100%. No, 100%. Now, the second part of my question, everyone's been trying to trade Jalen Green for a bag of chips. Everyone's trying to trade Jalen Green for anything at all out there. So my question is, if Zach LaVine becomes made available, are you trading Jalen Green for Zach LaVine? And obviously with salary filler and whatnot, but like, are you doing a Jalen Green trade for Zach LaVine?
No.
Why is that?
I'm not doing it because you're telling me Zach LaVine want to go from the Bulls to come to the Houston Rockets. Want to go for the Bulls and come to the Houston Rockets. And you got to throw him in the lineup. Someone that needs the ball in his hands. That definitely needs the ball in his hands to score. And all times, he needs the ball in his hands. And again, he's athletic. He can make the 3. But again, he shoots too many of those 3s to be athletic. I just think, like, I like what Ime Udoka is doing. He's patient with Jalen Green, and so I'm patient with him. And I know you're patient with Jalen Green because you're and I'm very patient. I'm okay with Ime Udoka doing that. So I wouldn't make that move. I just think he's more fit for a playoff. He's more fit for a team like how the Lakers or something like that. If they want to get him, they can get him, even though I don't think that works because that's another guy that needs the ball in his hands, and that would be taking something away from Anthony Davis, over there. So I don't want Zach LaVine or none of those scores like that on part of this Houston team.
Yeah, we want an efficient shot creator. Which are the guys that I've got listed. Now the reason why I bring up Zach LaVine is because he seems like potentially comparable to Jalen at this point in his career, right? People are like, well, Jalen's only going to be a Zach LaVine type, so we might as well get Zach LaVine, go get him. However, I'm not paying Zach LaVine $40 million to score 22 points on 44% shooting. You know what I mean? Like if we go and go get Zach LaVine, I need something low. So if I'm trading for Zach LaVine, I'm getting Alex Caruso too. If we're going to trade and if we're trading Jalen, right? Hypothetically speaking, if Houston Rockets are trading Jalen Green, it needs to be for a playoff push, not a play-in push, a playoff push. Absolutely. And we have to make sure that we keep that guy happy and we appease him, because I'm not trying to trade Jalen Green away, right? And then him go off to be, for 2K sakes, like an 88 overall, right? 89, a high tier elite player. And then if we trade for Zach LaVine, if he only wants to be here for 2 years and we got to trade him away, what was the point of trading Jalen Green if we could sign him for 4 years and for half the price? So that's what I'm getting down to is how realistic, right? And I understand that a lot of the Houston Rockets fans and the community, they're impatient, expecting Jalen Green to be, like Anthony Edwards. And I get it. What we saw from year 2 Jalen potentially should have been on track for that. And, guards notoriously do take a long time to fill out and become something in the league, especially if you're coming from the team that Jalen came from. I mean, let's be honest, man. Those first couple years he was on the team, it was not good, man. And he had Smiley as his coach over there. Look, just take a look at the Pistons, guys. They lost 28 games in a row with a finals head coach. And you want to know who was over on the Pistons? Smiley. That's what, and I'm not putting it all on Silas. It's not all Silas' fault, But that's the common factor, because I mean, am I wrong?
No, he's used to losing 20 games in a row. He's used to it at that point. He's used to it at that point. I'm glad we not that type of team this year. We already have won 20 games. So, like I said, we already going to get past our win total to next year. For next year, that's pretty plus. But again, now we got that type of team. Hey, man, we in playing discussion, but we got to play like it. We got to play like it. And I got a feeling. I said we still gonna be fine. I just think a move got to be made. A move really got to be made at the trade deadline. I don't know how long the trade deadline takes to get here, but I need that to hurry up and get here. But I really want to go ahead and go out there on Friday and beat Charlotte.
We better beat their ass.
We got to beat these guys, man. We got a team that won 10 games. We can't lose to a team that won 12 games and double back and lose to a team that won 10 games. If we do lose to Charlotte, it may be long for us. It just may be really long for us, man.
It might be at that point, man. Honestly, depending on how the season goes, we lose to Charlotte, we're probably going to be sitting at that 10th, 11th range, right? I had Houston pegged for that 8th through 10th seed, somewhere in there, depending on like injuries and whatnot. But if we continue to lose like this, we might be out of the play-in general, or barely like squeeze by and get that 10th seed. I mean, we're in a dogfight right now with the Utah Jazz, who are again a tanking team, and they got more wins than us right now. That's not our goal. Houston's goal is the play-in. We need to make the play-in. We need to stay in that play-in area. So again, to our credit though, this is only the second time throughout the entire season where we've been under 500. The first time was the first 3 games. And then after that, we haven't been under 500 until, this 5-game stretch here, And I believe we're only 3 games under 500. We're 20 and 23. Okay. We got over 35 games left. You got to make them count. Every single game needs to count. Houston needs to bring that energy, bring that dog that we had, that we saw in the beginning of the season. And I need to see Jabari Smith go crazy. I need to see consistency from Jalen Green here on out. And I need to see Alfred Sengun make his free throws. And I just need Fred VanVleet to be efficient for like 2 games. And my gosh, my boy, I need you to do better than 40% as a veteran. Like, please. And Jalen Green shooting 39.5%. You need to do better, my boy. Is year 3, again, like I get it. You don't need to shoot 50% every night. But 39% is not cutting it. I'll tell you that. Going 9 of 24 every night is not No, I don't want to see that shit ever again. All right, we got to step it up. So I think it's gonna wrap it up for us. Dante, thank you again for joining us, guys. As per usual, be sure to follow my boy Dante at Coach Dante 31 down below. He's got a YouTube. Check him out. He's actually pretty fun over there. We've also got a Twitter account at Coach Dante 31, as well as an Instagram for you to follow for him. You can follow me, your host, Preston Simpson, at drip_. That's 2 P's, drip_GAWD on Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow this account right here at H-TownRundown on YouTube, hopefully where you guys are watching, as well as Twitter and Instagram as well. Guys, I need you guys to comment below if you think Jalen Green is going to get traded at the deadline or why you think he won't get traded. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll tune in for the next episode next week. See you.